it even faster for you to be able to prosecute your case at the tribunal, because the records will be available. How many people were accredited? How many people voted? The total tally will be available online, on time, real time. There's no third-party process. It's just like when you go to the bank and you make use of the ATM. There's no third-party.
Yeah.
You the ATM.
Yeah.
Of course, you can say there are times you have a dispense error, you are debited, and money you did not get. All those ones can be rectified. So it means that you can actually vote, and your vote may not be uploaded immediately. It will clearly show at that process that, look, your vote wasn't captured. Either you have to come back or you have to wait for another scheduled day for INEC to resolve those who had their votes not captured.
Okay. Well, INEC just said it has unveiled some digital tools, and the idea is to strengthen the management and transparency of the elections that are coming.
Yeah.
The first one is CROM, Collation and Returning Officers Management System, and the other one is ERMS, Election Results Management System. We will eventually find out how these systems work, but what do you make of this move by the Commission?
No, I think I would say kudos to INEC. I think despite our criticism of INEC, since 2015, I should say, I think INEC has tried to reinvent itself. Remember, at the time, we had what we call the incident form. If the machine couldn't capture you, then you have to make use of incident form.
Yeah.
That gave room to a lot of rigging. After that, we eliminated the incident form, completely. And you find out that from 2019, the records tumbled out by many states in Nigeria, reduced drastically. It meant that the beavers has been able to curb rigging via use of
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a bit. Please go ahead. Hello? Oh my. And I seem to have problems with the connection. Okay, I will hopefully try to reconnect with Mr. Ige. Our conversation is on diaspora voting. How exactly is it supposed to work? Can we pull it off? What would it cost the country? And what difference would it make? Do you think the votes of our countrymen in the diaspora would be huge enough to make a great difference? I think I'll take calls now as I reconnect with Mr. Ige. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. I had a conversation on this a couple of days ago. It was one of the big stories. And I remember the first reaction of the person was, we haven't finished counting the votes of Nigerians in here and vouching for its numbers. Now we want our brothers outside to vote as well. And I said, well, if we can make it work, why not? Justice would be my first call. And Justice calls from Omudioga. Hello, Justice. Good evening.
My friend, sir, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Happy workers' day.
I wish you the same.
We are still working today.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, to me, diaspora voting will not work.
Why?
In Nigeria, I'm coming. That's why we're having conversation now. As of 2023, INEC has 93 million voters. That's the people registered in INEC data, 93. And as of 2023, Nigeria has 227 million people, according to Google Wikipedia. Which means that the number of people eligible to vote, if you compare it to Nigeria's population, is very poor. Our people are tired. Even those that voted in the last election say they will not vote again. The president of Nigeria was declared winner after securing 8 million votes. So in the whole of 93 people, Tinubu got 8 million. We have not done it well internally. We want to talk about diaspora voting. So you see how we have performed so far internally, locally here, as a point of contact and as case study. Is it not good enough to show you that the diaspora voting will not work?
I'm struggling to see how, the stats you gave connect to the inability of the system to work. If the president got 8 million, other parties got some other numbers too that must have taken it up to whatever number your expectation, right, is supposed to be. If the president got 8 million, meaning that he got the highest number, so the next person got lower and lower. When you collate everything, it makes a huge chunk.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, that's my response to that. Unless if I didn't understand your position.
Okay. The people in diaspora that want to vote, I have relatives here in Nigeria who are already complaining about the system, who are already saying President Tinubu is not doing well.
Okay.
These people will discourage their brothers abroad from voting.
Yeah, so what voting is supposed to solve is to get somebody who you believe will do better. If I don't think that the man there is doing well, of course my family members abroad will want to ensure that they help all of us vote in the man who we think will do better. Isn't that what election, isn't that how it works?
Sir, if I have, like now, for example, I have a relative that is studying in India.
Okay.
And the person want to vote.
Yeah.
Seeing what I'm passing through here in Nigeria, do you think I will encourage my brother to vote?
That is why he should vote, so that you don't pass through it. And the policies of government in Nigeria will affect him there.
Okay. The what?
Oh, thank you, John. Am I saying it wrong? Isn't that how it works? Hello, Mr. Ige.
Yes, hello, I can hear you.
Yes. Sorry, we are kind of very close to a break, so you just have to wait through this break, and we'll continue after it.
Okay.
For more talk.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so let's head straight to business. Some people are not in support of diaspora voting. They don't think it will work. But if we were to pull it off, how would we pull it off?
Well, I'm completely in support of diaspora voting. Completely, 100% in support of diaspora voting. And just before we talk about diaspora voting, the first thing to be asking ourselves is, who are the Nigerians that are even qualified to vote abroad? According to Nigeria's constitution, for you to be a Nigerian, either of your grandparents, now in this case, either your grandfather or your grandmother is a Nigerian, or either your father or mother is a Nigerian. So you have people who are Nigerians, who are female, or married to other nationalities across the world. Their children are eligible to be qualified as Nigerians. Then you have Nigerians who are male, who are married to women of other nationalities. Their children are qualified to vote as Nigerians. Then you have Nigerians who are male and female, who are both Nigerians and stay abroad. It means their children are Nigerians. So you already have Nigerians that are probably into their fourth or fifth or sixth generation, staying abroad. Now, all of these people are qualified to be regarded as Nigerians. And according to what we have or what we are hearing, there are no fewer than 5 million Nigerians who are in diaspora, scattered all over the world. It means that if we allow diaspora voting, we are now bringing a whole new frontier to voting in Nigeria's history. It means that Nigerians in diaspora will now become a very powerful group of Nigerians who politicians must now talk to so that they can get victory, at the end of the day. Look at the 2023 presidential election. The difference between Tinubu, who came first, and Atiku, I don't think the difference was up to 2 million. So imagine 2 million Nigerians in diaspora voting in a presidential election, in a governorship election, in a senatorial election. You can now say that we are now bringing a whole new frontier into the electioneering process in Nigeria's history. So I'm completely in support of diaspora voting, completely.
So it's the process that begs the question, because what a lot of Nigerians are complaining about is our own process. We don't trust it. We don't think it's credible. Many presidents have said the 93 election is the most credible. And sometimes I wonder when they say that because they have elections that brought them into power. So how can we ensure that the process of the Nigerians in the US or UK or Portugal or wherever have a better process than ours? And how can we ensure that if they finish voting, because transmission of results seems to be where the problem is, and they say, oh, this is what we voted. When it comes here and INEC handles it, it will still be the figure that was generated from that country.
Okay, so fortunately, without fear of contradiction, I will say that as much as 70% of Nigerians in diaspora, I stand to be corrected, as much as 70% of Nigerians who are in diaspora stay in the United States, in the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, Holland, and Spain. Let me say Spain, yeah. So I'm looking at a sizable majority of Nigerians staying in Western Europe, then the balance on the other channel, which is in the Americas. So the Americans are looking at the United States, they are looking at Canada, I think majorly United States and Canada. So now, this continental Europe and North America have ultra reliable internet system, internet deployment. That is one. Two is that it will be easy for Nigerians who are in these countries to be able to vote. I'm sure you know that a sizable number of them already vote as the United Kingdom citizens.
Yeah.
Some of them vote as Americans, so they already know what voting process is all about. So it means that for us to have diaspora voting, INEC will need to liaise with the Nigeria's high commissions or embassies in these countries. Then INEC will need to liaise with the electoral bodies in some of these countries so that we're able to make use of the facility that is already on ground. So let's take the United States, for example. There are areas that are already designated as election centers on election day. Can some of these facilities be made available to Nigerians so that they can vote electronically? The result is determined almost immediately. The hard copy of whatever result is obtained in the US, for example, will be submitted at the Nigerian embassy, either the Nigerian embassy that is in New York or the Nigerian High Commission that is in Washington. Of course, we have Nigeria High Commission in London. There's Nigeria High Commission in France. There's Nigeria High Commission in Belgium, in Holland. Some of these things can be made available so that Nigerians can even vote by their ballot being sent to them by mail. They vote and they return the ballot by mail, either to the Nigerian embassy or to a designated point. There may be a few logistical challenges initially, but I'm sure we can overcome it. For Nigerians in diaspora, I think it might even be faster for us to get their results than getting results from far-flung places in Benin, shares boundary with Cameroon, shares boundary with Niger, shares boundary with Chad, and some of those places, there are no networks in some of those places that I've mentioned now. So you may even get results from, say, in France now faster than getting results, presidential election results from Borno State, or maybe from Adamawa. Exactly.
Okay, so the cost. Elections cost money. Even if it's diaspora voting, even if we're going to use the infrastructure that these other countries have provided, we still will need to spend.
Yes. There is no way in the world where money is not spent to conduct elections. So Nigeria's case is not any different. We practice a presidential system of government, same way it is practiced in the United States. I think the advantage of the United States is that they do not have a central election body like INEC. We think all their election bodies are domiciled in each of the states, in the United States. So each state determines how they want the election to conduct it and also bear cost in mind. Otherwise, even in Germany, where they operate the federal system of government, money is spent to conduct elections. During the last election in 2023, I think INEC spent about 400 billion. I hope I'm correct in my skills, please. I think they spent close to that to conduct the last election. And Nigerians are already saying, look, can we not have the election conducted one day? Give all those who want to come and vote on election day 5 ballot papers, president, Senate, House of Reps, governor, and House of Assembly. Why don't you just give them 5 ballot papers? Nigerians are discerning enough to know which party they want to vote for each of positions. Yes, some have said that. Some Nigerians have also put in that, look, if you give people 5 ballot papers, it will take a long time to count the vote for each of these positions, and tensions could rise. And naturally, when tensions rise, you expect that there may be mayhem, there may be snatching of ballot boxes and all of that. But these are things that INEC we have to look at. And to me, if we are to cure that for people to vote for all of the positions on a single day, then we need to have a technology that is just like the point of sale terminal. The point of sale terminal, we have the alphabet of the political parties or something. So once you get there, you insert your voter's card, it confirms that it's you, then it lists the position. I'm sure you know that most of the POS terminals are Android, so that you can easily screen and can actually shift the screen off and look for the political party you want to vote for which position. And as soon as you click send, it's already available on INEC IRS, just the way JAM is just the way JAM is conducting a UTME for students in Nigeria. Then the specific date is set aside, you go out, you write your exams, once you finish, you click send. Everything is automatically updated, uploaded into JAM's site.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ige, finally, they say before you build a house, you must buy land. Are we ready for diaspora voting? Have we done all the things that we're supposed to do before we start having that conversation and implementing it? Have we bought the land that will help us?
Sam,
yeah?
I'm sure you know that in the history of Nigeria, there is nothing, I mean nothing, that Nigerians have been ready to do that they did not do it. I'll give you just a very good example.
Okay.
I'm sure you know that Nigerian music has been exported to every part of the world.
True.
Thank you. The Nollywood in Nigeria is watched all over the world. In fact, we turn out more movies in Nollywood than even Hollywood in the United States of America.
Yeah, volume-wise.
That if we put the will, we can do it. Nigerians are not difficult people. Nigerians are among the brightest brains on earth. If we put our hearts to it, we can do it. There is nothing imaginary. There is nothing rocket. There is nothing like a rocket science in what I'm saying. So if we have the will, we can do it. We have the money. We have the brains that can help us generate a software for INEC that ensures that people vote on time, real time. We can do it.
Yeah.
What may be missing is, do we have the political will? Would we allow INEC coming up with some kind of measures, some kind of software measures now to help them improve the outcome of elections in Nigeria. Kudos to INEC because they keep reinventing themselves, trying to eliminate as much, as possible. So if we put our mind to it, there's nothing that we cannot achieve.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ige. We wait, we hope. Let's see how that plays out. Thank you very much for joining us, as always.
If we are doing it, one other side we just didn't put our minds to was that even political parties must reform.
Yeah.
As INEC is going the way of technology, political parties should go the way of technology.
For their primaries.
There's no need for any party to gather delegates to Abuja and vote for presidential candidate. No. allow all registered members of that party to vote electronically.
Mr. Ige, if that happens, how can dollar change hands? I don't know why are you doing this? Dollar needs to be exchanged. Eh?
The otherwise of what you are saying is that Nigeria will never progress.
No, I'm not. No. I was being sarcastic, right? So
oh dear.
they would ensure that does not work. So let's just
no dollars. If we are putting sarcasm into it, dollars can still enroll. After all, we are going to have the register of members of your political party. If 1 million people are registered for political party A, the voters register will be made available. So if, for example, I'm from Ekiti, for example, now, I may know some names that are Ekiti delegates.
Yeah.
So I could as well reach out. I can do empowerment at any point in time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Ige. As always, it's so much value you give us whenever we have these conversations. Have yourself a wonderful day, sir.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. So, Diaspora voting. Are we ready for it? My guest said we have the willpower, we have the brains, we have everything. It's just for us to start. And he's very much in support of it because he believes that Nigerians abroad who happen to be, they appear more nationalistic if you follow conversations on social media spaces, right? Sometimes you see people so patriotic, so Nigerian-minded, so conscious, and then you look them up and say, this one is living in the UK. For some reason, Nigerians abroad believe more in the Nigerian state than those who are here. And those who are here are trying as much as they can to go and join those abroad. But for as many Nigerians as have left and those planning to leave, if they had the opportunity as provided by the Electoral Act to vote in leaders, do you think that's a good idea? Will that make much of a difference? And diaspora voting is where non-resident citizens vote. It is citizens voting in an election according to their citizenship while residing in another country. So a person is a full-blown Nigerian, but at the time they are not in the country, but they get to decide who runs the country. 08179230002, 08179230003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage, and turn off your radio as you call. Ami for Ernest says, INEC have not been able to count properly a state's vote. Now, talking about diaspora, this is unrealistic conjecture. Ami for says, it's not unrealistic. It's not even difficult, right? It's just about whether we want it. INEC cannot be trusted. They are a major problem. Ezekiel Isaiah says, in a month, we have designed a voting system that you did not need INEC to know the winner. And with your phone, you can vote. But can they accept it? What do you mean we have designed? You mean like you guys have a software system? I'd like to see that. Please update this message if that's the case. Ezekiel calls from Ubimini. Hello, Ezekiel.
Good evening or good afternoon once more.
Good evening, good afternoon, good everything.
SOC, you see, nothing that Nigerian cannot do. Nigeria is qualified to practice diaspora voting, but under one condition, Mr. SOC.
Tell me.
Number one, let us not think of using that voting in the year 2027.
Why?
Let us also not think about it in another year, 2031.
So when do we start now?
This voting processes has a long way to go before we mature and be prepared, ready for it.
So it cannot happen in the next 2 elections. When would it happen?
That is what I'm saying. That the plan on ground, according to the INEC, is a welcome one, but it should be given, a slow-paced attention to prepare the future elections. Because as far as I'm concerned, this dispensation or this government as per se, they have their skeleton in their cupboard. I don't know if you're understanding me.
Yeah,
Because if you ask me, this is why our president is always focusing outside the country, undermining the tragedies and the whatever thing that is not good for the masses. He is now looking for diaspora support and vote.
Okay.
Mr. SOC, you and I don't know their minds. Thank you very much.
All right, Ezekiel. Thank you very much. So Ezekiel says it's a good idea, but we're not ready for it. Not in the next election or the one after that. And when people say things, it just takes you to some reference points. It kind of makes me think about the Bible. After David ran around finished, God says, it's your child that will build that temple. When you finish, that's what it sounds like. God's time from Onelga. Hello, God's time.
Yeah, good evening, Samuel.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Nigeria is ready for diaspora voting.
Okay.
And that will also change the dynamic of the election. Because every candidate will need to buckle up, knowing fully well that the people living in diaspora cannot be called upon for a rally. You can only talk to them through maybe possibly a Zoom meeting or through the Nigerian Commission in any country. That will also reduce the level of intuition, which you know. It will also reduce some corrupt practices, because if you feel you are winning in the Nigeria state and the people who are residing here, the diaspora vote can change everything. It can change everything. So for those saying that we shouldn't implement it yet, I think they are totally wrong. The implementation should take place with immediate effect, so that at the end of the day, it will also help in making the leaders meet up with their promises. Because you know that people in diaspora, they are so passionate about the development of this country. Most of them are not happy staying abroad, but the fact remains that due to the non-availability of the basic things, they decided to relocate to find the greener pasture, as they will say. So with that, it will help them to exercise their civic responsibility, and it will also help them to dictate who becomes the president of Nigeria, and that will also aid them, because it will give an ample opportunity for development in the country, which will not prompt them to come back home and also invest everything they have got, knowledge, money, and otherwise in the country. So
thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. God's time. Victor calls from Mile 3. Good evening, good evening, Victor.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
No matter how passionate you are, your passion will end in the polling unit.
What does that even mean? That sounds like bad news.
The manipulation is done with pen and paper. So, if indeed there is something called diaspora voting, it is still INEC that will send the electoral officers that will actually do the collation. And the collation is not done with passion. They will write the numbers with pen and paper, and whatever they send to INEC here is what will be recorded. So the problem is not even how passionate the people there is. Number two, if this diaspora voting will not be electronic, then it's a waste of time and effort. And if it is going to be electronic, why not we start it here first? That is what Nigerians has actually been clamoring for. If you want to introduce electronic voting, start it with us here. Even if you want to now include the diaspora guys, fine and beautiful. But if you are telling me today, as an adult of this country, that you want to do the same ballot paper and you want to include the diaspora guys, We are wasting our time. The passion, it is in the pen and paper, and that is where the manipulation will occur.
Okay, well, thank you, Victor, for explaining that. He gave some clarity to the quote. I don't think that we want to go through the hassle of starting diaspora voting and then not starting electronically. It doesn't make sense, right? To begin to amend the Electoral Act, to have electoral reforms, allow people abroad to vote, and then you don't make it electronic. There's almost no point. My thoughts and opinions. All right. I'll be taking calls shortly, but hey, we have messages. Good evening, Mr. You guys are forcing me to come to terms with being called SOC. The reform by INEC to enable Nigerians in diaspora to participate in our general elections would have been an easy cake if only they can switch to electronic voting. If nothing like that is in the pipeline, I'm 100% convinced that INEC chairman and his people are close to pulling off another electoral drama in 2027. Lambs Fidel says, yes, you share my sentence. Sam, all these beavers, IREV, and even Reverend Father Sister, Reverend Father Sister, INEC is adopting for diaspora vote will not work in Nigeria. It will not work. Let's not expect INEC diaspora votes to work because of manipulation in the Nigerian system. All the votes would be migrated to a candidate that is not the choice of the people, as it openly happened in 2023. Big King from Port Harcourt says, Big King, are you saying that the president was not the people's choice? Is that what you're saying? Trusted IREV cannot authenticate votes here in Nigeria and not even constitutionalized. So how would votes from diaspora be managed? They would give way for easy rigging by those in power who would collate it manually and fabricate figures to their advantage. Let electronic transmission of results to IREV and electronic accreditation be captured in the Constitution. Victor from Egbema says, well, we're slowly running out of time. Okwando from Irebe is on the phone. Hello, Okwando.
Yeah. Good evening to you, Chinedu, the Oracle.
Good evening.
You see, the issue is that diaspora voting does not require rocket science for it to be done.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, there are so many other democracies, even the ones we call smaller democracies, that are doing it.
Oh, really?
And it is working for them. But my worry is that if we take a clue from even the local ones that we used to do, election that we used to do here in Nigeria, how flawed manipulation, rigging, and other trends that have always characterized it, I think that that diaspora voting should not be our problem for now.
Okay.
The one that we are doing here locally, how effective, efficient has it been? How has INEC tried to make sure that the vote of Nigerians counts? I think that is what is my worry for now, not diaspora voting. So I think that those people who are propounding this theory of diaspora voting, I am not against them, but my own interest and the interest of many Nigerians should be the fact that let this one that we are putting here locally, let it be counting at the end of the day.
Thank you, Okwando.
Think of going to diaspora to vote.
Thank you very much. Well, those people propounding, like you said, is INEC. The statement was made by the chairman of INEC. I took that report. Chairman of INEC, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, is asking the National Assembly to expedite action by amending sections of the Constitution and the Electoral Act to allow Nigerians in diaspora to vote. I'll take that again. Is asking the National Assembly, so meaning that the National Assembly were on their own, looking for another case to judge. Natasha, why did you not sit where they say you should sit? Mahmoud Yakubu say, excuse me, if you don't mind. Right? So it's INEC. JJ calls from Rumigbo. Hello, JJ.
Yeah, Sam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sam, do you remember once in a time where you have 36 governors? Governors, of the various states coming together, and they have an association called the Governors Forum, right?
That's right.
36 of them came out, and there was fight on who won and who didn't won that election. Remember when 16 was greater than 19? Remember?
Yeah. 2/3.
36 governors, so
2/3.
not small children, no. 36 of them. If not for Aregbesola that recorded everything, maybe till today, the mystery would have been like the white smoke of the Popa election, right? How have we been able to solve or even go about our own laws here? We were told that the Electoral Act does not allow somebody, one person, to purchase 2 forms. Akpabio, that is our Senate president now, purchased to become president, withdrew, and now become Senate president. Now, if there are infractions about rigging, people hijacking ballot box, which law will you use in America, Britain, Rwanda, and all those to now prosecute those people?
No, but will they hijack box in UK? I mean, there are countries where you know that's not going to happen now.
Canada.
No, wait. You see, you have rigged the election, JJ. You have called me another name. Yeah. So
what are we talking about now? If Nigerians does the joke.
Wait.
So for me, as a person, if we are not ready for electronic voting and direct transmission electronically, forget this whole thing, because it's just like we have our own problem to solve. Okay. Before I go,
very quickly, please. Very quickly.
For rigging election in favor of somebody, why are we not looking at the results?
Okay. Thank you, JJ. So first of all, while snatching of ballot box, right, is common practice here, for certain countries, there are things that you cannot pull off, because even though it's a Nigerian election, you need to understand that you are in another country and you will conduct yourself based on the order that exists in that country. So, again, I know that it's not impossible, but that's another thing to consider. But like you've said, and many others before you, and I'm thinking as well, it has to be electronic. It just has to be. Nothing else would make sense. Can't go through all the hassle and have people abroad vote, and then it's still the manual system. So, yeah. We have a break, and if time would permit, I'll take messages after that break. Stay with us.